I have made you, I will carry you, I will sustain you, I will rescue you. Isaiah 46:4. Now that's probably the mindset that WWE has right now, and that is that they are going to carry the entire professional wrestling industry. Now, I wanted to do this as a little more real talk video, so that's why I'm standing here in front of the Christmas tree in front of this poster, because I wanted to talk to you guys like a real person, not put it on video game stuff, kind of just talk and get this off my chest. Now, WWE has announced they are doing a UK tournament, and not only a UK tournament, they're doing a WWE UK Championship, and not only a UK Championship, they are doing a WWE UK show. So this is turning into what the Cruiserweight Classic was. Now, the Cruiserweight Classic was designed to be a tournament with a trophy, and that was it. A network special, if you will, leading up to one champion, and then they were going to do it every year. But it was so successful, or in the minds of the WWE, they thought it was so successful, that what they said was, you know what? Let's make a championship. You know what? Let's put it on Raw. You know what? Let's make a brand. It's its own show on the WWE Network now, 205 Live. Now we have the UK tournament coming out, and they're going to emulate the success of that. And that success was, hey, we're going to have a tournament to crown a champion to be on a show. Now, whether these guys are going to be on the main roster, SmackDown, Raw, we don't know yet. But what we do know is that we are going to get a championship and a show on the network. Now, I was thinking to myself, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, it's good because we get more exposure to these guys that you might not know. There's a lot of wrestlers out there that are great all over the world, but you're never going to see them because they're just segmented to their audience. Like, maybe it's like independent, maybe it's the UK, maybe it's Japan, whatever it is, Mexico. We aren't seeing that because WWE they're not on your WWE television. There's a lot of talented people in the UK, and the UK independent scene is blowing up. You have places like ICW, and if you don't know what ICW is, man, that is blown up. That is probably the number 3 promotion in the world. I'm going to say WWE, New Japan, well, New Japan and Ring of Honor together because they partner up and stuff, so we'll put them together. And then ICW, just because of their like huge following they have in the UK. Yes, you can say AAA, yes, CMLL. There's promotions out there, but let's just talk about how ICW has grown, and it's one of the tops around. And that made me say, well, I have a few questions, right? WWE, I have a few questions. What does this mean for professional wrestling, right? So let's say that I'm a UK wrestler, right? My ultimate dream is to get to the WWE, right? But we see this opportunity for this United Kingdom tournament. Well, I could do this. I could be the champion of it. But that makes me question what's going on here. Will I ever make it to the main roster? Where does this championship fall on the line of WWE championships? Because when you look at it, you have the WWE championship, which is on SmackDown, probably the number 1 championship in the company. Number 2 is the Raw Universal Championship. Then you can go down the line and figure out what the other ones are, but you got the US, the IC, the NXT, the Cruiserweight. Would the Cruiserweight title be above the NXT title because it's on the main roster and you actually get to see it on Monday Night Raw? Or is the NXT title, because it's been around longer, it's got more prestigious champ? Like, that's the question we ask here. Where does this United Kingdom title fall in line? Is it go to the bottom of the line? Is it the last title in WWE? So let's say this. Let's say that I do win the tournament. Let's say that somebody does win the tournament and they win the United Kingdom title. All right. What are the chances of actually winning the WWE Championship? Do they transition this title? Let's look at it at face value right now, what it is. It's a network show. What it is they're going to take the best UK wrestlers, put it on the network as a show, as its own show. Will you ever get to the main roster with that title? Or is it like a progression from here to NXT to the main roster? Or do you go from here to the main roster? What is the landscape of this? Really, I want to know. Where do you go? Like, what does this do to NXT? Is NXT, like, not as important as it was before? Because now you got the 205 Live. Now you got the UK. What's the deal? Like, where does it go from here? Like, I'm trying to understand this, and I just don't get it. Now, the way that we look at this, I actually talked to Angle on Twitter, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, This is WWE's attempt to create their own independent wrestling scene. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Now, I don't really like how they segment all this stuff to kind of make it different. I don't like that the cruiserweights are kind of like their own thing. It kind of ruins it for me. If they're going to be on Raw, they should be on Raw, on the roster, on Raw, with the same Raw set. But if they're going to be on 205 Live and they're going to be their own show and their own brand, that's fine. Like, here's what they can do, right? They're going to create their own independent wrestling scene. Instead of people searching outside for talent, like going to independent shows, why not turn on the WWE Network and watch all these talents, right? You create the Cruiserweight show. You have that. 205 Live, that's like your fast-paced action, those smaller guys, the flippy stuff that you want to see. There's that. It's like WWE's version of PWG, right? It's not going to be PWG, but it's their version of, let's just say, that's what they're going for. Not that it's happening, but that's the mindset, right? We have this crazy action, these flippy guys, stuff that we can see. It's awesome. Now we take the UK, because there's a lot of popular UK wrestlers out there. We can get that market, because there's a lot of subscriptions we want to get in the UK for the network. So we'll put that on a show Thursday. I don't know. What's going on Thursday? Nothing. Throw it up on Thursday on the network. So there we go. We got the Cruiserweight show. We got the UK show. Let's hit Japan. Let's take Shinsuke Nakamura over there. Funaki, do commentary. I don't know. Do something like that. Get the Japan audience. Are they going to be able to do that? I don't know. Let's go to Mexico. Get those guys. We could do that. Or get all the best women in the world, put them on a show together, kind of be like Shimmer or Shine. There you go. You got yourself your own independent stuff on the network. I always thought that WWE should go out and they should get independent videotape libraries. Like I said, they should go get Evolve's tape library. They should go get Ring of Honor if they could. They should go get CMLL. They should go get AAA. They should go get ICW. Like, I thought they should go out and grab all these video libraries. But why do that? What you do here is you contract these wrestlers to the appearances they make, right? You don't sign them to a WWE contract unless you're going to make them your champion for this brand. Like, I'm assuming whoever's going to win the UK title has to be a WWE contracted wrestler. But you think about it like this. Are they going to give the championship to a guy that's not a full-time WWE contracted guy and that wrestles at the independent scene? I don't know. I honestly think they possibly could. I think they could give a guy a UK title for the WWE and let him go wrestle all over the UK with that title. We could be seeing like an NWA explosion here, where there's all these different little territories of the WWE going around. Again, my biggest concern here, though, which I think it's a great idea for them to do this, I just don't know where this falls in line with their other products. What does this mean for the NXT Championship? NXT was like their developmental brand, and then they said, you know what, this is so popular, it's its own brand. It's not a developmental territory anymore. This is right before you get to the main roster, you get to NXT. You get the top guys on the independents, guys from Ring of Honor, guys from TNA, you put them on there, and you have an awesome product. Guys from New Japan Pro Wrestling, all over the world, right? You do that. And then you have the NXT title. That was great. That was awesome. That was great. But then it's just an ever-lying question. What happens with these other brands? What happens with NXT? Like, you have the UK title. Okay. I get that they're crowning a champion of the United Kingdom. I think they should have done a tournament, not a title. But if they want to build their own brands and have their own independent scene, I get it. I get what they're doing. It's just so many more questions than answers. What is the landscape of WWE? Is there landscape that wrestling is bigger than Raw and SmackDown? Is that what we're going for now? That the WWE is going to be the world wrestling entertainment? World wrestling. World wrestling. So we're going to see all these smaller brands of these niche type wrestling. Like, we're going to get the... I still think they should do a women's show. All women. They were talking about doing a tournament, but if they do an all women's show on the network, I think that's gold. I think it's great. Because then it's a little different than cruiserweights, and it's a little different than the UK, because if you have women, they can go to either brand. They can go to NXT. It's fine because it's just the best women in the world. Like, the way I see the women one is that you take all the best women and then you just somehow filter them into the main product as you go along. But again, I just have more questions than answers. Like, I really don't know what the landscape of WWE is anymore. Is this a groundbreaking shake of the system of professional wrestling? Forever it was, you go to the independents, you try to make it to WWE. That was it. Now it's you go to the independents, you try to make it to NXT, then NXT to WWE. But now that's changed. Now you try to get to the Cruiserweight Classic. Now you try to get to the UK. Now you try to get to this women's tournament if they do it. And it's just baffling to me. It's like, what are they going to do next? I know they're trying to push the WWE Network subscriptions and live shows. These live format shows that they are doing are awesome. And like the Cruiserweight Classic was hugely successful. And it's a great way for you to learn who this talent is without actually seeing them in the WWE yet. So you can have these video packages, you can have these highlights, you can show footage from ICW, Rev Pro, all those places. You can show that footage because WWE will pay the company to get that footage, and that will in turn make these guys bigger stars. I think if you're an independent wrestler right now and you're out there killing it and you're making a name for yourself, it's a perfect time to stay independent. WWE is looking for these independent guys that they can put on their network specials or push them or whatever. I'm not saying don't sign with WWE, because if WWE wants to come around and they want to sign you up, do it. But I'm saying this is a perfect time to be an independent wrestler and try and get your name out there, because WWE is looking. They have eyes on the prize. They have eyes everywhere. Triple H, William Regal, they're all over the globe looking for the best talent in the world. This is a Triple H move, and I think the landscape of WWE is changing. Anyway, guys, if you have any thoughts of this, make sure you follow my Discord server. I'll link it in the description. It's discord.tony.pizza. That will get you over there. You can check it out. You can join in with us. And I think that it will be interesting to see where they go from here. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And as always, too sweet that like button. A perfect time to too sweet the like button with all this awesome wrestling coming out. Whatever's going to happen, WWE's going to be huge. They're always going to be huge, but they're going to be even bigger now. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. As always, TonyPizzaGuy, too sweet.